live on the Roku Sports Channel. Our radio audience will rejoin in just a couple minutes' time, but look who is here. I'm digging this tradition. If we're coming to the Super Bowl and Seth Rollins is here,
I'm coming, man.
Invite us out and
love it.
Always accepted. I love it. I appreciate it. Thank you guys. It is awesome to be back here.
Great to see you.
Yeah, good to be seen, man. Good to be seen. You guys looking great.
Everybody's
looking good, man. Everybody's looking nice. I feel like I fit in. You know, I came dressed to impress, and you guys looking good.
You definitely did. And you know my guys. It's Chris. TJ Jefferson does the No Contest Wrestling Pod with O'Shea Jackson Jr.
Yes, sir.
For us, and you just did your show from Royal Rumble.
Yeah, went to the release of the WWE 2K25.
Yeah, man.
Release party. Got to go check that out, play the game a little bit. I had you in the triple threat.
Oh, nice. How did I do?
Well, you did well. It was the first time I'd ever played, so I was playing against someone who I swear had the game for me.
User error. Of course, yeah, I understand that pain. That's my excuse every time.
You know, but give me like another month on the game, it's a wrap. So.
Operator error.
Is it still in beta test? Is it still like, it's not full, that's like a full game yet, right?
I think next month it comes out.
Wow, is it that soon?
I think so. So yeah, it's close.
Amazing.
But it's incredible.
Beautiful.
It really is, yeah. Yep.
Fantastic. Well, when'd you get in?
I got in yesterday afternoon. Went to some parties last night. Those are exhausting.
Oh, I think I saw you. You were at
we saw it.
I was, yeah. That was the highlight of my party experience. Was Jason Kelce whipped out a beer from his pocket when I met him. Like, he was already holding like 4 beers somehow. Somehow managed to shake my hand and also pull out another beer. I didn't ask questions, but I got a beer from his pocket. I don't know how long it had been there, but it tasted fine.
It sounds like that guy who will catch a foul ball holding a baby.
Yes, you know? That's exactly what was going on.
It's watching a master at work.
Right?
You're not lying. Every time I saw him, he had 2 beers in each hand.
Right? I'm not making that up. I'm like, maybe I imagined it because it's Jason Kelce and he's like some sort of mythological figure at this point.
Right.
But no, he did have a bunch of beer and then he just whipped one out of his pocket and it's like, all right, let's go.
All right, I'm mandated to ask Seth Rollins.
You can't turn that down.
Front or back pocket?
Oh yeah.
That I don't know the answer. It was dark.
Oh my God.
It was dark. Yep. Could have been anywhere. You know what I mean? He could have had a satchel down there. I don't know what was going on.
I mean, it's a crucial question.
You don't.
But you just screw it.
That's how I roll. You know, that's how I roll.
What was the temp of the beer?
By the seat of my pants, man.
Was it still cold?
It was room temp. It wasn't cold.
Okay.
But it's light beer, so it doesn't need to be cold. It's fine. Whatever.
Fantastic.
Goes down easy.
Well, once again, Seth Rollins, watching you go ahead on the Bears roller coaster through your postings are truly remarkable. We have once again compiled a whole bunch of them. There they are.
Wow.
Where you alternately love football and then hate it. And you loved football multiple times, 4 times in the first 6 weeks. The one on the lower left with "I hate football" with a lot of L's and exclamation point, and then "My God," I believe was the Hail Mary. My God was the Hail Mary.
That's right.
And then you hated a lot of football.
I hated a lot. At one point during the season, I gave up.
Yeah, we noticed November 12th was your last posting.
I was destroyed. I was heartbroken. Yeah, November 12th. Would that have been the Packers game? The blocked field goal?
I think so.
Yeah.
It was before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I wanted to come back on Thanksgiving. I really did. And we were there. But then somebody didn't know how to use their timeouts. and all hell broke loose. So, yeah, it was a rough year to be a Chicago Bears fan. I imagine it was a rough year to be a Chicago Bear in general. There was a lot of chaos in that front office. And so, hopefully everything is on the right track. Ben Johnson was the belle of the ball this offseason. Happy the Bears opened the checkbook. I love Dennis Allen as a DC. Love Declan Doyle as an OC. I'm excited for the future of Chicago. I think we got some wins in our future next season.
Well, we noticed that you love football again.
That's
and
right.
Matched the posting to the news of Ben Johnson being named the new head coach.
We got some.
Did we connect the dots?
We got
properly?
some sleuths here. Yes, we do. We got it figured out. I do love football. One more time, we're back. Off season. That's our world in Chicago. You know, last year we had the #1 pick. We were excited. This year we got a new coach. We're excited. We got to stop living on potential, though, man. We got to start getting some wins. We got to start getting some W's. I need a playoff appearance again.
Yeah.
I need it. Last playoff appearance Chicago had, I believe, was in New Orleans against the Saints, and did not go well. Did not go well for us.
Did not go well. I agree.
The year before that was the double doink. Also did not go well. So we need a W in Chicago.
Although, I mean, being here for a Super Bowl in New Orleans as a Bears fan in the Superdome, I mean, that's where the one took place.
That is, yeah, before my time.
You were not.
I was
born
not
yet.
born in January of '86. I was born in May of '86. So I have never seen the Chicago Bears. I saw them obviously lose the Super Bowl to Peyton Manning and the Colts. The Devin Hester kick return. I was live for that one. But yeah, not seen my team win a championship in 38 years.
Damn, I was hoping that you were born 10 months after the Super Bowl. I would have figured out if we could connect more dots in Davenport, Iowa.
No, man, no.
They're Bears fans. Celebrating.
Celebrating and all that. No, the timing is a little off. A little off, unfortunately.
Just a few months.
Yeah.
Very
good.
Close.
And
so that's why you're a Bears fan, growing up in Iowa?
Yeah. I grew up in Iowa. Obviously, we had choices. There's no pro teams, right? So, the Vikings are around. The Packers are around. The Chiefs are around. Chiefs they stunk. They stunk for a long time. But I didn't have a choice. My grandpa loved the Bears. If you didn't love the Bears, you weren't coming to Thanksgiving. You weren't coming.
Is that right?
Dude, they were strict about this sort of thing. Yeah,
Wow.
in the Midwest, we're like that, man. I think it's a lot of teams' fandoms though. Like you get disowned if you're not part of that. If I would have been a Packer fan, oh my goodness, I could have picked something. I could have been like a Bronco fan or something. He might not have been upset.
Right.
I had a brief relationship with the San Francisco 49ers in the 90s. When I didn't understand why we were back in a losing squad in Chicago, I go, why don't we just like this team that's awesome? Why don't we like Jerry Rice and Steve Young and Ricky Waters and Brent Jones? Why don't we like these guys, Neon Dion there for a season. So I had a brief spell with them, but I came back around. I understand as I got older, loyalty's a big thing. And so I came back around, and I've been suffering ever since.
Seth Rollins back here on the Rich Eisen Show. I had mentioned that TJ's fresh back from Royal Rumble in Indianapolis.
Yes, indeed.
And go ahead, tell the story on the air. Here
So my cage obviously is he's going to be 5 at the end of the month.
5-year-old son.
And I've been out on wrestling for a little bit, but I was like, when Raw started on Netflix in January, hey, let's watch. Maybe he'll be into it. He plays a bunch of other sports. He is very into it.
Oh, nice.
We watch every Monday, and we was Saturday night, and we watched Royal Rumble on Saturday. It was just me and him. Sarah was out of town, and when you were, you took umbrage with Roman, and you were kind of kicking his head and everything. He looks at me and goes, "Dad, he's a bad guy."
Oh no! We gotta learn this kid up, man. You gotta understand the history. He doesn't know.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know.
Up to for the last 4 years.
Yeah,
all right? The tribal chief has not been very kind to the people closest to him. Okay, so people get what they deserve sometimes. They got to make apologies. They got to make amends. They got to do things right. Roman Reigns gets what's coming to him. You got to understand that. So maybe this will be a teaching moment for you as a father.
Well,
Thank you for that. Yes, I'll let him know.
Well, I would think, if you don't mind, Seth, there's a camera right there. Look straight down the camera. And what would you like to tell Cage to learn him up about this very situation?
Cage, look, sometimes in life things are not as they seem, and it will do you some good to look into things, really look into things, to understand who the good guys are, who the bad guys are. Don't take everything at face value. Trust your heart, man. Trust your heart. You'll feel it. Take the time to understand the truth.
Life lessons from Seth Rollins.
Thank you, Seth.
By the way, that would be a new great segment.
That's pretty good.
I'll raise the youth of America.
Just send us a video
I
every
will
week.
influence them via the Rich Eisen Show. I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
By the way, we would take that.
We could get that done.
Life lessons from Seth Rollins. We just stumbled on a new segment.
I like this a lot.
Elimination Chamber's headed to Rogers Center in Toronto.
Yeah, Sky Dome, baby.
That's right. On March 1st. That's right around the corner.
Right around the corner. A few weeks to go.
Second consecutive year that Elimination Chamber's held in an international stadium. This is going to be John Cena's final appearance.
Yeah, man. He's on his final run. He's on his retirement run. Big John. He had his last Royal Rumble. He's got his last Chamber. Got his last WrestleMania coming up. And then his final year. This is it. And then he's going to go continue to be an awesome Hollywood actor.
Yeah.
And the voice of every single commercial on the planet.
He is doing everything
Dude,
right.
Honda, he's got McDonald's. You just hear his voice pop up on like some purple, like, I don't know, he did another insurance commercial. He's just everywhere. I'm like, oh, I know that guy.
Do you want to act?
I don't know. You know what I want to do? You had Greg Olson up here a minute
Yeah.
ago, and I love Greg. I want to sit next to Greg Olson.
Okay.
That's what I want to do. I want to sit in the booth with Greg Olson and call football games.
Howard.
I love that guy, and he's so good. He's so good, and
Yes.
I love him, and I would love to be in that booth calling football games.
So, like, play-by-play?
That's right.
Like, here's the snap.
Let's go. Yeah, man. I mean, we might need a third man to do that part. We can do two color guys, you know.
So, all right. So
Rich Eisen.
I would do the play-by-play.
Yes.
Play-by-play.
Greg Olson
And Seth Rollins.
Like, but what would your commentary be? Like,
What do you mean, man? I
I'm
can
just
talk
saying-
about football.
I'm not saying that your commentary would be unfootball-like, but would you would tell it like it is?
Yes.
You'd lay it out there.
I'd give you a
The
perspective.
style, I guess, is what
Yeah,
I'm
you'd get you. So I mean, yeah, I'd tell it like it is. I'd give you perspective that you wouldn't be thinking about. You know, Greg's got unique perspective because he played the game, but I had never played the game. I played the game when I was a kid, but I watch it from a unique point of view. So I'm not trying to be Greg Olson, but I got some flair. I got some pizzazz. I got a little je ne sais quoi. You know what I'm saying? I got experience on a microphone, a live mic. I've been doing this for 12 years. I get to stand in front of tens of thousands of people every week, millions of people watching at home, and I get to deliver orations. So I got a little different delivery that I think might be interesting to some people. I got a little different perspective that might be interesting. I add a little flair to what Greg brings to the table.
Although, if you called a Bears game, you'd have to give me more than I just love football or I hate football. You know what I mean? Like, second down and 10, no gain, I hate football.
Yeah.
First down, I love football. Like, you can't.
That
you
would
give me
get
something a little bit.
old pretty quick. Yeah, you're right. I think we'd have to get some proper analysis in there. But I think I could do that. I think I could do it. I'd like to give it a try. You know what I'm saying? I'd like to give it an attempt to see what happens.
I think that'd be great.
Just throw it out there. Why not?
Fantastic.
Wing it, man. Yeah.
All right, we're coming up with
This is great.
other Seth
I love
Rollins
this idea.
ideas.
We got lots of stuff
We got
going
two
on
really
here.
good ones.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 41 taking place at the spot where the Super Bowl was last year.
Allegiant Stadium, yes,
That's
sir.
right, Allegiant, April 19th and 20th. And, it's just killing it. Everything's killing it. WWE surrounding that night with Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, NXT Stand, and Deliver from T-Mobile Arena.
Wow.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Go for it,
With
TJ.
Mania coming up, man,
Yeah.
like, we know we got the Chamber. Mm-hmm. You got a good chance to win that. What are you looking ahead for, Chamber-wise and Mania-wise? Like, in a perfect world, what's Seth Rollins, let's say your May, going to look like?
In a perfect world, I'm challenging for one of the world championships, whether that's Gunther or Cody Rhodes. Jey Uso won the Royal Rumble. When you win the Royal Rumble in our world, you get the opportunity to challenge a champion at WrestleMania, whether that's Cody Rhodes or Gunther, who's our champion on Monday Night Raw. Cody's champion on SmackDown. The winner of the Elimination Chamber generally gets the opportunity to challenge the leftover champion, whoever hasn't been selected. I don't know which way Jay's going to swing, so it could be Gunther, it could be Cody. I personally would love to get into the Elimination Chamber. I got a qualifying match coming up here in a couple weeks on Monday Night Raw on Netflix. I'll get into the chamber, stomp CM Punk's head into the mat, eliminate everybody in that chamber, John Cena included, go to WrestleMania, and my dream opponent is Cody Rhodes for that title. Okay. Cody's a guy that when he came back to WWE, we had a series of matches. He won all of them, 3 in a row. I lost all of them to Cody Rhodes. I helped Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania last year win the WWE Championship. I think it would be very poetic if I was able to take the WWE Championship from Cody Rhodes this year at WrestleMania. So that's my perfect plan. That's what I'd love to see happen. A lot of variables at play, so we'll see how it goes.
That's what's up.
You got a good McAfee story?
Oh my goodness! Let's see. Pat Mac, he's a wild man, dude. You know what? He's just nuts. He's just a crazy person. I just popped onto his show earlier today.
Yeah.
How do people feel about Pat McAfee? Because he's like an outsider, sort of, right? Do we love him? Do we hate him? What do we think about Pat
I love him. I mean, we're all big
known him a long time.
Pat people.
He's such a like a trailblazer, right? And I think he's even in WWE. He's a guy that. Here's the thing, Pat. He loves wrestling. He didn't come in and be like, I'm Pat McAfee, put me on Monday Night Raw, I want to be a big star. He started in NXT, which is our developmental brand, as a commentator there because he wanted to work his way up. he wanted to just cut his teeth, do the broadcasting thing. He ended up having matches. He was very good. He's a natural. One thing about Pat that I think people don't understand, like regular people, maybe they do, but he's like a hustler, dude.
Oh, well, you just nailed it, Seth, because the thing that I don't think people mention about Pat enough is he works his ass off.
Works his tail off.
So, and you
dude.
saying that he started at a different level than what he's currently at right now is a perfect example of that.
So my first interaction with Pat McAfee was like, it's 2014 now, so 11 years ago in 2014, I think. I had just won the Money in the Bank briefcase, which is like this briefcase that I peel off of this ladder and whatever, and then I get a chance to cash it in for a championship match whenever.
We have one in studio. So.
Yes. So Pat was like, I don't know if he had even stopped punting at this point. I don't know if he had retired or not.
11 years ago, I think he's still.
But he's still working like part-time in the off-season for the local television show, trying to cut his teeth. We do an interview in like the upper Valm of the arena there, the field house in Indianapolis, and Pat's just like this little nervous kid interviewing me, who's this little nervous kid, and this is again 12 years ago. Neither of us had really reached too much success in our industries, and there's a great picture, you can probably find it online, it's these two dorky kids. I got this gold briefcase and Pat's got this pimply little face, and neither of us had any clue what the other would end up. But really, it's that work ethic. It's what he had that set him apart from everybody else, and a vision for what he wanted to be. And man, he just kept hustling.
No doubt.
I love that about him.
I do not begrudge him a single ounce of his success because he's earned it.
That's awesome. I'm the same 100%. Way, man.
And we had Pat on our podcast years ago before this show existed.
Long time ago.
Yeah. And he's always had a spot here.
He's something about him, man. He's a special cat.
You could tell that he was gonna go on to bigger and better things. He just had a way with the mic and the way he carried himself. You could tell.
Instant energy.
Yep. Yeah, instant energy. That's right.
Kind of like when your theme song hits and the crowd starts to do their thing when you come out. The energy is
energy, man. Burn it down immediately. That's Seth Rollins. We're going. Let's ride.
That's what's up. I also I was able to introduce. Same way Chris was, I was able to introduce my 8-year-old godson to wrestling. He realized that I liked wrestling, so he wanted to get into it a little bit. We were able to take him to the Netflix show.
Oh, nice.
The first one, and Rich is... I did a little something on camera that Rich is kind of comparing me to a guy who would steal a ball from a kid at a baseball game, and I don't...
What did you do?
He jumped into this camera space. It's Ashton Kutcher's kid.
Oh, yeah.
So his son
Bear's on camera.
Yeah.
And TJ just jumped right in.
Here's the deal, Seth.
Like he's not on TV enough.
You couldn't help yourself.
Here's the deal, Seth. Like Bear knew I liked wrestling, so he decided, tell me about wrestling. So I don't have kids. I've been waiting my whole life. I've been waiting my whole life for this. So I start telling him Andre the Giant. I started with.
Story.
Got him the Savage and Steamboat. Got him the Hell in a Cell.
Touching story.
So he wants to go to Raw.
Yeah.
First one on Netflix.
Great.
I go. He's sitting next to me. The camera's there. I'd lean in for a second, sure. But that's just so he would have that memory, Seth. When I'm long gone,
so
he'd be
it
like,
wasn't for you.
My godfather took me to a Raw show.
Putting the heat on the kid. That's what you're saying now. It's the kid's fault. If the kid wasn't there, you wouldn't have done it.
I still would have done it, Seth. Absolutely.
Okay, there. Accept the responsibility.
Because there was once an 8-year-old TJ who loved wrestling. So that kid every Monday and Friday.
I can understand that.
Yeah,
I understand that.
Yeah, but that poor kid could have seen him on the Intuit Dome Jumbotron in the Oculus, and he instead there's his godfather.
Yeah.
That's my man.
That was my issue.
I get it. It's hard. It's hard when you got
Rich
that
doesn't
inner kid.
understand. When you're at a wrestling match, we're all kids. We all revert into our childhood when you're there, man. That's just
There's an inner child in there somewhere.
You're talking to him. Dream job every day. Are you kidding?
Touché, man. That's
this
true.
is the greatest thing I've ever.
You're
And with
literally talking to that kid right now.
That's
brother.
awesome.
I might be 55, might be the double nickel, but you're talking to a kid right now.
55?
I am.
God dang.
What
Look
was
great for 55.
Oh, thank you. Oh, wow.
No,
that way.
great for. I love it, man. It makes me feel good. When I was a kid, I remember when my grandpa turned 55. That man was old as hell. 55. We old, you know what I mean? So old at 55. God rest his soul.
Man,
Rich, how old was Wilford Brimley in Cocoon? We found out.
yeah, that's the
was like-
52. Yeah. He was. Yeah,
This is
like
a
he was
beautiful
66.
thing.
Look at me.
55.
Thank you
man.
for following up. You're
I
like,
feel
damn.
good. Makes me feel good about my future. I'll be 40 in a couple of years. I'm like, yeah, I can. I got a life to live. This is
Miles to
great.
go before you're
By
done.
the way, we pixelated Bear's face out, but we found the photograph. Like so look, this kid's there. Look at TJ. Like, woo, you know.
Ashton's not happy. I love that he's representing the Hawkeyes, though. Go Hawks.
So that's why.
Go
So
Hawks.
you became Bear's favorite once he found out you were from Iowa.
Yeah.
Then so Bear is a huge Seth Rollins fan.
Hell yeah,
That's
man. I
because-
love that. I love that. But yeah, Ashton's like, oh, no, not this guy.
His son's finally there, thinking, hey, but then here comes.
Guys, I was the reason they were in the
TJ.
building. Okay, let's go. If it wasn't for me, they wouldn't have been.
That's
Very,
amazing.
very understood.
It's a great photo.
Before I let you go, you put your punditry on display. Who wins Super Bowl 59? Seth Rollins.
You know, hard to bet against Mahomes in crunch time, but I'm going to do it. I say the Eagles, and I'll tell you why. I mean, the trenches are going to be the difference. I've been watching this Eagles offensive line all year long. You know, Saquon gets the love, rightfully so, best back in the NFL, but dude, that line punishes people throughout a game, and I think they're going to get it done. They do it on the defensive side too, Jalen Carter and crew, and I think they're just going to push that Kansas City offensive and defensive line around. They're going to make it difficult for Pat Mahomes to get points, and I think they're going to win. I think they're going to take it.
All right. Interesting 2 cents right there from Seth Rollins. All right, so let me just go down our to-do list, our checklist here.
Get 'em.
Elimination Chamber coming to Rogers Center in Toronto on March 1st.
Stomp somebody out.
WrestleMania 41, Saturday and Sunday, April 19th and 20th at Allegiant Stadium
Stomp
in
somebody out.
Vegas.
Yes, sir.
We have a new segment on this show called Life Lessons from Seth Rollins.
That's gonna be huge.
We're going to put Seth Rollins in a National Football League broadcast booth at some point.
Can't wait.
Let's do it.
And we got to get you on No Contest Wrestling.
That's my
there
biggest
we go.
challenge. You know,
Sure we can work
plea,
that out, man.
my plea to you,
See.
you know, we'd love to have you, man.
I can get that
and I've been
done.
telling you third year that you've been on this show. I think I've told you every year the last 2 years, hey man, I got something coming. It's finally here now.
Now it's finally here.
Yeah,
I
he's
love
not
to
full
see
of it. He's not full of it.
Let's do it.
I've been a
It's
fan my
actually-
whole life, man. This job is great, and being able to talk wrestling, man. Like I said, 10-year-old me is.
There we go. We're all just kids,
Yeah,
man.
man, we're all
I'm
kids.
Nobody's growing up.
And your son now knows the difference between good and evil.
Good and evil. Yeah.
Thanks to Seth Rollins.
Good guys.
Not
and bad
everything's
guys.
black and white, baby.
Despite the outfit.
At WWE Rollins to follow this man on social media. Great to see you, Seth.
Hey,
Always
thank
love
you,
having
man.
man.
Thanks for having me, guys. Really appreciate it.
Great Seth Rollins here. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.